What's up, y'all? So, I'm glad to be back talking about the spirit of gluttony. Last week, we talked about how to define what gluttony even is, and also how to identify and see if you have a spirit of gluttony attached to you. So, this particular video, I'm going to make it quick. This particular video is about creating boundaries in the diet. In order for you to combat the spirit of gluttony and to be delivered from it, it's going to come by you creating some boundaries in your diet because it is a lack of boundaries in the diet that has led to a spirit of gluttony. Okay? The programming, the mindset. So, the spirit of gluttony is a mindset of lack. And this is why gluttony actually leads to poverty, as the scripture says. So listen to this scripture in Proverbs 23:19 through 21. Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way. Be not among winebibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. So, just in this scripture right here, you see the connection between gluttony and poverty, and in this particular context is not just talking about gluttony with food; it's also talking about gluttony with drinking. Okay, so this includes somebody who's an alcoholic. So with gluttony, a person who is gluttonous is going to lead them to poverty, and the reason is because it's the same mindset that's in gluttony that's in poverty, and that is a mindset of lack, of never having enough. Okay, not that there isn't enough, but you have not had enough, so you have an insatiable appetite. You cannot be satisfied. Okay, so here's the thing: when there is something, when you're trying to fulfill a need and you have an insatiable appetite, and no matter how much you get, that need is not fulfilled, inevitably it's going to lead to you crossing boundaries. Okay, this is why you see people who are strung out on drugs, they start stealing, they start committing crimes, they do whatever they can to get what they need. This is why you see people who deal with sexual perversion, it often starts in one place, but it ends up going further. Okay? The perversion becomes darker and darker and darker and darker because they're trying to fulfill a void. They're trying to fill a void, and they're trying to fulfill a desire that is insatiable. It doesn't matter how much you give, what you do, how much of it they experience, it's not enough. They want more. And the reason behind that is because when you're trying to fill a void in your soul with the creation, and when I say with the creation, that could be with food, that could be with any kind of material thing, that could be with another person. When you're trying to fill the hole in your soul with the creation, um, it's never going to satisfy you ever. And really, what is happening is you're trying to use the creation to fill a creator size hole, if you will, a hole that only the creator can fill, a void that only Yahuwah can fill, only he can occupy that space. But for whatever reason that you're not allowing him to occupy that space, whether it be ignorance or resistance or fear or something like that, then you're going to try to fill that void with other things. You're going to use other things. Okay, and we talked about that last time, like with the emotional eating. So eating out of your emotions is when you're feeling brokenness, you're feeling some emotions, and you want to be soothed and comforted, and you need help processing things, you don't know what to do, so you eat something. That is you trying to fill the void in your soul, that hole in your soul that only Yahuwah can fill. You're trying to use like food to do that. So anytime you're trying to fulfill an insatiable need, you're going to constantly cross boundaries. You're going to do things you're not supposed to do. You're going to break laws. You're going to break rules. You're going to do things that are destructive. So the spirit of gluttony is going to cause you to have little to no boundaries in your diet. Maybe you do have some boundaries in your diet. Okay, some people do have some boundaries, but you still could be gluttonous. Your boundaries are not enough. You don't have enough boundaries. And some people don't have any boundaries at all. Like they'll just eat literally anything and any amount, anytime, anywhere, any place. So the American diet, the standard American diet, in and of itself, okay? And when I say the standard American diet, I'm talking about the diet that was created by um the advice, by the influence, and by the prescription of commercial companies, and really like the pharmaceutical industry, okay? I should probably take that out. I don't know. But I'm gonna just say this. Like in America, the standard American diet was created by influence of people who do not have an interest in the families that are following the diet. All right. So the American diet is a gluttonous diet. And it's one with no boundaries. So if you think about the American diet, you see all types of stuff. I mean, it didn't used to be like this. I think years ago people kind of ate regular stuff. But as you can see, it's just getting out of control. Like the things that people are doing. First of all, meal times. People eat whenever they want. All right. People are literally eating around the clock. People are there's not just, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack. No, people are getting out of the bed in the middle of the night and eating. People are eating the second that they wake up, anytime, anywhere, wherever you are, eating while you're driving. People around the world make fun of us for that. Eating while you're driving, eating while you're walking down the street, just eating anywhere. Also, the American diet has no bounds with what kind of food you're eating, how you mix the food, what time you eat the food, the order in which you eat the food, what the food is made out of. Um, all these things, there's just no boundary. It's just all about the taste. It's all about the palate. It's all about eating and consuming your lust and satisfying the flesh. So, in order for you to turn away from the spirit of gluttony, you're going to have to first renew your mind. And I say this all the time. Anything that you get ready to do, first thing you need to do is renew your mind. Because oftentimes we do what? We want to skip from inspiration all the way to implementation. We get inspired. We like, oh my God, this is some great information. I love this. I want to do this. This is what I want to do in my life. And we go straight to doing it. We go straight to the store and get everything we need for the recipe. But really, that's not what we should do. What we need to do is when we get inspired, the first thing we should do is educate ourselves, count up the cost, think about it, process it, figure out how you want to go about this, and don't be so quick to try to jump into doing the thing, because what ends up happening is you fail at it because you skip some steps, and then those failures, you keep doing the same thing, you keep failing, going back and forth, going back and forth. And as you do that, you're reducing your confidence. And as you reduce your confidence, you end up saying this just can't be done. But it's not that it can't be done, it's just that you didn't take the proper steps. You skipped from just straight to the lifestyle and you didn't even really set up for it. You have to create a system. So, first thing that you need to do in order to turn away from the spirit of gluttony, renew your mind. Number one, question everything that you were taught by the mainstream from the culture. Like, question it. Like, really question, why are we eating the things that we're eating? Like, who made this up? How long have people been eating this? And that's a really important question, because several times I've thought that certain foods were around like forever, and then it turned out it wasn't. It was relatively new. For example, processed sugar, refined sugar. I used to think that refined sugar, I thought that was just here, since Adam and Eve. Like I just thought it was always here. And then I found out that it has literally only been here for like 500 to 600 years. And it changed the world. Um, Processed sugar was actually one of the driving forces behind slavery, because the demand for the sugar was so great that the only way to keep up with the demand for the entire world was slavery. And this is why the sugarcane fields were notoriously deadly. And people who worked the sugarcane fields did not live very long. They died from exhaustion and heat exhaustion and all kinds of things because it was so brutal, the conditions that they had to work in. But anyway, just think about that. Just find out, how long have people been eating this? Like, who started this? Why do we eat this anyway? Start questioning everything instead of just going along with everything that you've been doing, that your family's been doing, that your culture's been doing, society's been doing. Start asking, why are we doing this? And when did this start? And what was the motivation behind it? Whose idea was this? Who said we have to do this? Number two, compare the norm to the results. Sometimes people, they don't want to move forward. They don't want to do anything different because they feel like, oh, I feel fine. I'm fine eating what I eat. I don't have any problems. I don't have any issues. How you know that though? I mean, you really think about it, you don't know the problems that you have until you step away from the thing. Because if you've been eating something for your entire life, what are you comparing it to? When you were one? When you were 9 months? Yeah, I know, these foods are fine with me. Because what last time I ate it, when I started eating when I was 10 months old. No. If you have nothing to compare to, how do you know that it's not negatively affecting you? I'm going to give you an example. So, probably somewhere around 2021, I said, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. When I had my seventh baby, when he was a newborn, he had a terrible rash all over his body. So I even heard in the spirit, I heard the ruach say dairy. That was it. He just said dairy. And even though I heard that, I still did an elimination diet. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna eliminate this, and that. Um, so I did the elimination diet, and his oh my gosh, his skin was so inflamed. Um, and he's a dark skinned boy, so his skin was red. So just imagine a brand new baby, for a baby to be dark complected and their skin is red and pink. That shows you the level of irritation that he had. He was so inflamed, and so I stopped eating the things because I was nursing him. And when I did it, his face cleared up in less than a week. Listen, I'm gonna tell you how I cleared up. His face cleared up so good that I realized that I hadn't even met my baby yet. I hadn't even seen his face yet. The face that he had for the last few weeks was not even his true face. That's how inflamed he was. Now imagine if I had never changed his diet. So, um, dairy. I said, you know what? We're gonna see what happens if we don't eat dairy for 30 days. And I had some resistance, Uh, uh, really, most of the resistance was, I say, it was mainly coming from my oldest daughter. She's the one who really does not like change. But I'm like, no, we're gonna see what happens if we don't eat dairy for 30 days. Like I've never done it before. I want to see what's gonna happen. So for 30 days, we had no dairy, and it was great. Like I'm gonna tell you the best thing. No, it was almost like nobody really noticed. Nobody was really talking about it. And then so I said to myself, well, we're doing fine without it. We don't need it then. Nobody even asked for it. Nobody was missing it or craving it or anything. It was just regular. So I just got rid of it. I'm like, well, I'm going to stop eating dairy then. But here's the thing, my daughter, the one who was the most resistant, the one who saw no problem, guess what? She discovered that dairy didn't sit right with her. And the way that she discovered it was because after she stopped eating it for 30 days, when she went back to it, she got sick. She had never gotten sick from eating dairy before. That never happened before. Okay. At this time, she was probably 14, maybe 14, 13, 14 years old. But she had never gotten sick from eating dairy that we knew of. But we went 30 days without it. And then when she tried to eat it again, her guts was bubbling, her stomach was bubbling. She couldn't eat it anymore. And to this day, she can't eat it. So she's the main one who would be like, I don't want no dairy. I don't want no cheese. Don't put none on mine. So like I said, you are not gonna know how something really truly affects you until you take a step back from it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, comparing the norm to the results. Question what what the status quo is, what everybody is eating, and look at, like, what is everybody going through. Okay, so I'm like, small examples. We know that, like, in America, a headache is common. It's almost normal and expected. You know what I'm saying? It's like a headache. Oh, you just get a headache because it's been a long day. Things like that, headache and pains, and having phlegm in your throat and things like this, getting a cold frequently. These are things that are just woven into the culture, and they're just expected. It just looked at as normal. But let's look at the fact that, okay, the diet that we're eating, what if that's the reason why that those things are happening though? Let's compare what's normal to the results instead of just keeping things the same. Let's look at, like, what our lives are like and see, like, does this have anything to do with the things that we think are normal, our regular behaviors? So check that. Search out practices with better results. Try to find something that's better for you. For example, we stopped eating dairy. But I was like, well, I still want to have some sour cream. I used to love sour cream. Okay, I was that sour cream person. But I'm like, I still like something like sour cream. Like if I'm eating like, a taco or something like that. Guess what I found? Some coconut yogurt. I put the coconut on yogurt on there and it's just as satisfying. And all of us like it. The whole family actually really enjoys it. No problem. Nobody's missing sour cream. So I searched out a practice with better results. So I'm like, what's better? The sour cream that my daughter can't tolerate, and that's causing inflammation that my son can't eat, and who knows what it's doing to everybody else. Should I do that or should I do the coconut yogurt? So I'm like, let's just do this since this works better. Test out something on yourself. Do something different. Just like I said, just see. Let's see what happens if I don't eat dairy for 30 days. Okay. If you're a person who eat meat, let's just say, let's see what happens if I don't eat meat for a month. Let's just see. I mean, I haven't did it. I've been eating meat since I was 2 years old. A lot of people, you know, parents were giving us meat as baby food, like pureed meat, and you're not even one yet. Which to me, I feel like that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Um, I just believe that meat is for those who can chew it. Like I just feel like it's kind of like nature is giving you instructions. Like if you can't chew the meat, it's probably because you're not supposed to be eating the meat. So test out some things on yourself and just see what the results are. See if you get some better results and make a change. And then the fifth thing is see what the word says. This is you renewing your mind. All this is a part of renewing your mind. It's the first step. See what the word says about food. See what the word says about the foods that you eat and what boundaries that the Most High has set forth, because He has set some forth. He ain't say we can just eat any and everything. Okay, so establishing boundaries in your diet. And this is what I mean by establishing boundaries. One, abide by the boundaries that's set forth by scriptures. In the book of Leviticus, the Most High gives us instructions of what food, like what meats are clean and what meats are unclean. Okay. These foods that he named it for a reason. The foods that are clean and the foods that are unclean, the meats that are clean and the meats that are unclean is for a reason. And if you do some research, you'll actually find out exactly why that meat is unclean and what it actually does to the body. So, for example, we know that pork is full of parasites. Pork, pigs do not sweat. They do not have glands to eliminate waste. All their waste is within them. Okay. Um, let's look at rodents. Rodents, they put their mouths to their rectum. They lick their butt. So do dogs. So do cats. See what I'm saying? And what does that do? That spreads disease. That spreads parasitic infections. Um, this is obvious why it's unclean. I remember a guy. I was watching this guy. He was giving like scientific reasoning behind why certain things are unclean, and he was saying like the reason why shark is unclean is because sharks don't have a bladder, and the urine that sharks produce is actually all in the flesh of the shark. So if you eat shark, then it's urine all in the meat. Also things like shrimp, crab, lobster, those things are bottom feeders. You see what I'm saying? Like those things will give you parasites. All right. So read the scripture and abide by those instructions. Like he did set boundaries for what we're supposed to eat. Other boundaries that the Most High set is that he calls us to fast. He calls us to establish a lifestyle of fasting. That is a boundary that says that you're not allowed to eat 24/7 24/7 for the rest of your life. There will be some breaks. Also another boundary that Yahuwah has said, he told us that man should not live by bread alone, but he shall live by the every word that proceeded from the mouth of Yahuwah, which means that we should not live to eat. Okay? We should not we should not be surrounding our entire life, or our life should not be revolving around food. Number two, abstain from foods that Yahuwah has convicted you about. Now, I know it's something that he told you to stop eating. Everybody got that one thing when the Most High whispered to you, or you just felt, don't eat that no more. That's making you sick. That's not good for you. Don't eat that no more. It might be sugar. It might be meat. It might be dairy. It might be dye. It might be swine. It might be McDonald's. It might be Burger King. So many things might be. It might be alcohol. There's something I know he's been telling you, don't eat that no more. Okay? Create a boundary with that. Stop eating that thing that he said don't eat. This is where you start to establish your boundaries. Stop eating that thing that he convicted you about. That thing where every time you eat it, you kind of, you feel in your spirit, but you do it anyway. Stop eating that thing. Put it down. Abstain from foods that don't sit right with you. You know how people be saying something don't sit right with them? Like people know, that when you eat ice cream, your stomach's about to be bubbling for the next 2 days. You know that every time you eat corn, you get so bloated you can't buckle your pants up. You know that every time you eat meat, you're constipated for the next week. Like, stop stop eating the things that you know don't sit right with you. You know every time you eat that food that has those bad ingredients in it, you get a headache. Stop eating it. Create that boundary. So we have to listen to what our bodies are telling us and let that be a boundary. So when your body is saying, I got a headache, that made me not feel good, that is a boundary. It is a fence. It is there for your protection. It's saying, no, this is a no-go zone. Don't do this. But when you cross that boundary, okay, this is where the spirit of gluttony comes in, because the spirit of gluttony knows no bounds. It is insatiable. And it says, I like that thing right there, and I know when I eat it, it's gonna make my stomach hurt for 3 days, but it's worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Create a boundary and say, I'm not gonna eat things that make me sick. I'm not going to eat things that are going to give me a headache. I'm not going to eat things that's going to have me stand up all night burping, stinky burps like that smell like hot dogs or something. I'm not going to eat that thing. Even though I like it, I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to give you an example of corn. We can't digest corn. It's not good for you. It causes bloating and inflammation in the gut. If I eat corn, it immediately like makes my stomach bloat and I start having issues. I love corn. Okay. Who doesn't like tortilla chips? Who doesn't want popcorn? Oh my good popcorn. Like I used to make popcorn and sell it. And that wasn't easy for me to part with it. I'm like, man, I can't even eat this. How I'm selling it. I can't sell something. I'm a passionate person. Whatever I do, I gotta believe in it. I can't sell you something that I can't eat. I literally can't eat myself. And I've set a boundary and said I'm not eating corn anymore. So don't eat the thing that you know doesn't sit right with you. Number four, avoid foods that contain synthetics, the stuff that got the dye in it. Can we please stop with the blue lake, the yellow 5, and the red 40? Cut the dye out. Start reading these ingredients. Stop eating this stuff that got dye in it. Stop eating this stuff that got these chemicals in it. Can we please stop it with the potassium sorbate and all this weird stuff that actually makes you sick? Like it's so many things in the food. It's unbelievable. These ingredients we don't even know. I'm just laughing. I just had a funny thought about how when it came out that Subway was using some kind of substance that they also used in yoga mats, right? And just recently I heard my children talking, they were like, hey, can we eat from it was some restaurant they was talking about, can we eat a sandwich from this restaurant? And they were like, no, mama said we can't eat that because she said that they make their bread with yoga mats. Which is not what I said, but that was a funny thing. Y'all actually out here using chemicals. Do you understand that they're actually using the same chemical for antifreeze for your car? They put it in cereal and then you give it to your kids for breakfast. Talking about breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Can we stop it with the synthetics and the chemicals? I mean, can we first just stop eating the stuff that's not even food? There needs to be a boundary that says if it's a chemical, if it's synthetic, if it's made by man, I can't eat it. If it's something that was originally made to oil machinery, which is what canola is, originally canola oil was created to lubricate machines. It's short for Canada Oil. It's a Canadian thing. Like if it was originally made for machinery, do I want to eat it? Probably not. Let's stop with the stuff that's not even food. Number five, avoid foods that deliver no nutritional value. This is something that I had to stop too. Like, you might eat something, you might be like, oh, this is made with good ingredients and it's made with avocado oil and, these are clean ingredients. Yes, they might be clean ingredients, but some stuff just has no nutritional value at all. And we really do need to create a boundary where we're saying we're not just going to be just eating for taste, like to the point where you're literally eating something that's not doing anything for your body. All it's doing is causing you to expend energy to digest it. First of all, you spent your money, you spent your time and your effort going to get it, and now you're expending energy to digest something that's delivering absolutely nothing to you. So it's taking your minerals and your energy away for you to digest it, and you're getting nothing in return. We really got to work on that. We really got to work on that. I've gotten away from eating things just for taste. Oh, I just want a snack. I just want something spicy. I just for no reason. Like I'm like, these are the boundaries that we need to create. Number six, creating boundaries around the time that you eat. We ain't supposed to be eating around the clock. Like we're not supposed to, the window of eating is not 24 hours. You do not need to eat the moment you open your eyes. Some of us chewing before we even open our eyes. We got food on the nightstand. Get them peanut M&Ms out your drawer. Get them chips off your nightstand. Throw them away. Good and well you ain't supposed to be eating that. Getting up in the middle of the night eating hot Cheetos. Getting up in the middle of the night eating donuts. Getting up in the middle of the night eating ding dongs or whatever you eating. Stop it. We're not supposed to be eating around the clock. You don't have to eat the moment that you wake up. You don't have to eat in between meals. You don't have to eat because you're watching a movie. You don't have to eat just because you're sad. You don't have to eat just because somebody offered it to you. You don't have to eat because the commercial came on. You don't have to eat late. We should not be eating in the middle of the night. We should not be eating after a certain time. Like our stomach should be empty. We should be done digesting a couple hours before we go to bed. When we go to sleep, that is the time for your body to do a full shutdown and the organs to begin to do maintenance and repairs. If you know anything about factory shutdown, think about that analogy. I can't really unwrap it now, but think about that analogy. But going to sleep, you're supposed to sleep. Everything's supposed to be resting. Your mind, your body, your soul, but your spirit is active. Your body is not supposed to be still going. All the machines and gears going in your body because you still eating. You in the bed chewing that hard steak. you in the bed, you in the bed still chewing that well done steak. You still got food in your stomach. Okay? And you trying to have dreams, and now you get attacked by demons in your dreams because you vulnerable now. We ain't gonna go there. Don't eat around the clock. Set boundaries. Okay. Set boundaries. You don't have to accept everything that you're given. Just because you go somewhere and somebody asks you, hey, you want a free box of donuts? You do not have to say yes. My children they know that many times people have offered us things and it looks really good, and I'd be like, oh no, thank you. They'd be like, Mom, I can't believe you. Boundaries, boundaries, and I don't want to people please. You also got to be delivered to that. Don't be eating stuff just for somebody's feelings. Don't be going over your grandma's house and she give you a bowl with some pig knuckles in it. I don't even know what pig knuckles are, but she give you a bowl with pig knuckles in it and you eat it knowing good and well you've already decided you don't want it anymore, but you eat it just because you don't want to hurt her feelings. You don't want to offend nobody. It's time to create some boundaries in the diet and stick with it. Okay. Now I got to be done here. I got a lot to do. I'm Katila Usuri. I'm a distributor of wisdom from Yahuwah. I speak it, I write it, and I model it. Y'all have a good evening.